Redesigning synchronous collaboration for teaching on pages. Okay, so let me begin. So, like the moderator has explained, she has explained that my name is Jeffriza Karjanto. I'm an Apple teacher. I'm also a senior lecturer at the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, UTM Malacca. So I did my PhD in human factors in autonomous vehicle. So yeah, I think that's enough about me. So let's just continue to what we want to share today, what I want to share with all of you today. So the topic is redesigning synchronous collaboration on pages. All right. So okay. So the topic is again the redesigning synchronous collaboration in pages. So redesigning is it's what if we revise back the way we operate. We look back and on how we do our how we do things. And then synchronous means like when you do face-to-face learning and teaching. But in synchronous, you do the teaching and learning in a virtual world. Whereas collaboration is when you work something, a document or anything with a partner. Means that when you do something with a team, more than one person. So in other words, you can say that the title is something like revising the way we operate teaching and learning, virtual teaching and learning, when working with more than one person, when working in a team. All right. So these are the three main things, actually, the contents of my sharing. So I'll begin with the first one, the template. Okay. So when we want to start collaborating, when we want to start working with other people, I think we should start with a template, not with a blank, like like a blank paper or a blank space. So you have to start with something. You as the main collaborator or the host should start with something, okay? A template, all right? So I'm gonna explain a bit on template about the term scaffolding and taxonomy. And then I'll go to the next topic, which is I'll show you the example of the assignments. And then the spirit that I want to share over here is what I call a continuous learning, all right? So bear with me, okay? I'll explain that in a bit. And then finally, I'll show to you about a proposal. Okay, so I think as a lecturer, I want to share something that is more contextual, more related to what I'm doing. So I'm going to explain about how we can do a productive collaboration in proposal making. Right? So that's the three main things that I want to share today. All right. Okay. So I hope you can see this right now. So to begin, I think this
Can
is a
see
very
someone.
typical. Yes.
Yeah. A typical assignment, right?
Yes, indeed. Okay. So I think the connection is quite okay today. All right. Thank you, Dr. Sana. Okay. A typical assignment, I think this is something like a typical assignment that I'm not saying everyone, but me myself a few years ago. This is what I usually give to my student. Okay, attach 9-page article, write a detailed write essay on that topic it explores, and turn it on Wednesday. No late submission. Okay, so this is very typical. You give sometimes the students a 9-page article and ask them to do by themselves. Okay, for me this is like a suicidal mission. For me the analogy is like asking your student to jump out of the aeroplane without giving them the parachute. Okay, so I mean, we still want them to jump out of the aeroplane, we still want them to do that, but if it's better if we can give them the right tools, give them the parachute, give them the proper attire, prepare them with the right shoes. I think that's what we should do. Okay, we should prepare them, but still you still have to jump out of the plane. All right, so that's what uh but that's something that I want to share today, if we can change that a bit. Okay, the mentality. So the first thing I want to share is the template. Like I said earlier, so we want to give an assignment to a student, but we have to prepare a template. Okay, because why? There are two things over here. First is the scaffolding, and the second one is taxonomy. Okay, scaffolding. Okay, before that, this is the example that I'm going to use in my templates. Okay, so I choose a topic from Science Form 3, which is called the metal reactivity. Okay, And also this is a part of the topic that I also teach in for my students, first year mechanical engineering student, which is what we call manufacturing process. So we have to know the metal reactivity and the extraction of metals. Okay, and this is I think also covered in science form 3. All right, so that's the topic that I'm going to use for my example. So again, coming back to the two jargons. I think this is not really a jargons because we are all educators. So first is the scaffolding. If you look at the image on the left, there's a builder, a building builder or construction worker is making the building in the shape of book. Okay, so what we need to when we if you look at this image, the worker has to begin from the bottom. Okay, from the bottom, they start laying the bricks layer by layer, and then until they reach a point where they have to be supported by a structure, which is the structure that you are seeing right now. They are sitting on or they are standing on are the structures of what we call a scaffolding, a scaffold, right? So this structure actually help them to go to the next level. So if they have finished laying up the bricks on the floor or and then when they want to go a step higher, they have to be supported. Okay, so that's the concept of scaffolding. Actually, you giving you support the student or you support your collaborator by giving them instruction. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, you start with the contextual for the intro. Okay, maybe that's also a new word also, but I will explain that in a bit. Okay, so bear in mind. So you can begin with something, some introduction, some contextual example. Okay, bit. Okay, and then for the first level, and then second level, and then third level. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is that the student or your collaborator cannot do the third level until they have mastered the first level. The same analogy as the work. They can't do this building starting from the third level. They have to start from the beginning, from the bottom, go to the first level, and then the second level, and so on. All right. So that's what we should do when giving the template, when giving the assignment. You should give the template with this scaffolding in mind. All right. I'll show that in a bit. The example. Next, let me allow me to explain the next terminology that I'm going to use. Second one is Bloom taxonomy. I think we are aware of this term. The second thing that you have to bear in mind when making a template before you start collaborating is that when you're asking a question, you should always put this Bloom taxonomy in mind, other than the scaffolding. All right. So first, you might want to start to start asking the question with a simple thing, right? With something that is the lower level of Bloom taxonomy, like just asking the definition, and then the next thing you have should do asking about understanding, and so on, and then keep the question keep getting harder and harder. And the thing is, they have to master the first level yet before you can ask. You cannot suddenly asking about what is your evaluation, what is your analysis on this topic. You have to begin with the lower level first. Okay, try to build them and guide them. It's like taking their hand, holding their hand, and walk them through. Okay, so that's the analogy. So let me just share the template. I think that's also what I've been sharing also in the link. I hope that's so this is what I shared to you. You should see something like this. So this is the assignment that I built with the scaffolding and the Bloom taxonomy in mind. Okay, if you remember, the first step is to build a contextual introduction. So for this topic, I found that if you remember a few years ago, we have the bauxite mining, in Gebeng, which has been covered by a lot of in TVs and all the mass media, right? So this is something contextual. What I'm trying to say, contextual is something that happening around us. Okay, something that we can relate on. I think this has been mentioned also yesterday by Pon Reha when she showed the image of the shoes or the treadmill, something around us, the flowers. I think this is also to the same extent something around us also, but it is in Gebeng. So I think this is quite contextual, and this is important. I remember the word from my friends. This is important to hook the student. Okay, Dr. Helmi always say this thing. Okay, to hook the student, to grab the attention of the student. Okay, so you have to start with something contextual. Okay, I gave the pictures of this with, see, you can see gay bang and everything. Okay, let's begin. uh, let's continue. Okay, again, and then you begin with something like a introduction. Okay, you give them something, a foundation before they can answer the question. Okay, so this is also contextual and also relate to what I want to ask after this. So give them some text. Okay, give them some text, some image to hook them. Okay, so they can read something before they move on. And then you can also give them like a further readings. Okay, or you can also put videos over here. I can show to you later. Okay, with pages, that's possible. So you give them something as a foundation, right? Before they, like I said just now, before you let them jump out of the plane, make sure you prepare them with the right tools. Okay, so this
Oh,
is
Dr.
me.
Jill,
Yes.
Dr. Jill, if I can ask, for the
Okay.
contextual examples, should we choose something that is very close to the students? For example, what happened in Gebeng about the bauxite is actually happened in Pahang,
Yes, indeed.
far away. So, in your opinion, which kind of sample is more relevant for the student? Something that
um
is just very close to them, or something that is pop up popular somewhere in the news?
Yes, I think that's the second thing that you said just now, Dr. Sana. I think something that is popular, something that can be easily accessible, something that can be relate, a hip topic, I think, because I believe this is bauxite is happening in Malaysia also. So I think this is close to what is happening in our country. Let's say you are teaching pendidikan Islam, right? Maybe right
Uh-huh.
now, let's say if you want to talk about, like, let's say concept of muamalat, maybe we can talk something, but we can begin the contextual, like maybe discussing about the Bitcoin, probably something that is
Yeah.
I think quite everybody knows a bit about Bitcoin nowadays. So maybe that's something like that. Or maybe you can, if you are teaching, let's say, geography, about the landscape of the geography, maybe you can begin with the what was happened a few years ago, the Thai rescue cave, because the geographical landscape of that cave really determine how to do the search and rescue. So that's what I'm trying to say. You start with something that is quite hip, or quite, the news is quite how would I say? I think everybody can reach out. So then now, if you, okay, now I'll start asking about the question. Okay, so this is the template that I want to share with you. This is the template that we have to first develop before we start collaborate. Okay, like I said in the very beginning, we don't start with a blank space. We start with a template, and then we have the scaffolding and taxonomy in our mind. Okay, so now I give them, uh, just now I showed you the introduction, and now these are the questions. If you look at the first question and the first task, which is the diversity of metal, if you remember, this is the first part in the syllabus. Okay, first I ask a very direct question. If they already read what I have shared in the very beginning, what is bauxite, or very direct, and what are the composition other than the bauxite inside the mineral? Okay, so that's the first question. All right, and then the second one, this is the first level of taxonomy, right? Bloom taxonomy. And then the second one, from your reading, you have why Gabing become red. If they read the material that I supplied to them, they know that bauxite will not give the reddish appearance to Gabing. It's the other mineral. Actually, when you extract bauxite, there will be some other minerals that exist together with bauxite. So that when they read the articles, they'll get this. They can answer the second question actually, and the second question actually, the next level of the taxonomy actually, when you have to apply the knowledge. All right, and this also, this the concept of scaffolding, what I said just now to you, you help in order for them to answer the third question, they have to really understand the first and second question. They have to answer that correctly before they can move to the next question. Okay, and again, next, it's getting higher and higher. And then in the task two, there are three tasks, if you remember. And then the second one is a metal reactivity series. You ask them to assemble the metal reactivities. You ask them to assemble the reactivity series because now they know that they have more than one element inside the when you extract a mineral. So you now I want them to to put that in the table. Which one is reacting better than the other, okay, because that will be important for the next thing that I want to share, which is I want to ask, which is the extraction. All right, so that's I hope that's you get some idea of how to do the scaffolding and also the taxonomy, the Bloom taxonomy in mind when you're preparing the template, okay, because this serves as a guideline for your student or collaborator when you want to start collaborating something. All right, and if you can finally you ask something that really high, like maybe question number three, something that is level 5 or 6, that they have to think more than just extraction of metal. What happen if a blast furnace is if a company want to build propose to build a blast furnace in your residential area? So what will happen? Okay, to the in term of economy. Okay, this is so much bigger or the extension of the knowledge is bigger than what you have learned in they have learned in class. Right. So that's about the template. All right. So that's what you should prepare first before you start collaborating. And then I'll go to the next topic, which is the assignment itself. Once you have the template, so you can share the assignment with your students and okay. So so let me share what has been answered. I'm done explaining about the template. So, like I said, before we start collaborating, we should prepare the template first to be shared with our students in order for them to answer the assignments. Okay, so now I'm showing the answered assignment. Okay, the example of the assignment that has been answered by my colleague who acting as a student. All right, so that I want to show the how you can do. If you remember the second thing that I want to share, how to do continuous learning in pages. Right. So you can begin first by aiding the people or the group of students. Let's say you divide this assignment into 4 to 5 students per group. Okay, so you can add them. If you click on the image here, okay, this is where you can add your students, okay, or your collaborators. So you click there, and then I already add one person, Nizamuddin Mak Yusof. Then if you want to add more people, let's say you have 4 to 5 people per groups, okay, okay, let's say your class you have like 30 students, and for let's say for one group there is 5 students. So you can, what you can do is that the template that you have made just now, the template that I share, you can save that template into five groups, okay, um, the same template with 5 files, okay, and then the first files you share with the first group, okay, and then the second files you share with the second group, and so on. Then you have uh,
So it is
five
recommended
assignments.
that we duplicate the files and
Yes,
give the files to the the designated group.
you can duplicate. Yes, indeed, that's nice idea. So you can duplicate the assignment, and then ask your students and share with the group of your student. Okay. Okay. So the next thing that you should do is that you add them for the to collaborate. All right. Okay.
Is there
So
any
that
restriction, Dr. Juf? If is there any restriction of peoples that we can add into the to collaborate with the document?
yes. Okay. In order for them to be your collaborator, they have to have an Apple ID. All right, they have to have an Apple ID in
They
order
only
for them
need
to.
Apple ID. They don't need to have iPad. Am I right or not?
Yes, yes, they can. If they have the Apple ID, they can do the editing in iCloud, right? They have a browser. They can do that on the browser, right?
In any computer, right?
Yes. And also, the second thing is that you can control. Uh, this is something you want to control. You want only the people you invite, okay? Because you don't want the group, the students that you share with this document do not share this with other groups, okay? Or something like that. Okay? And then you want them to make the changes, okay? If you want them to only view the document, you can change the setting here. All right? So and then when they start collaborating, they can start do the answer. They can put the answer, and then they can do the change. What the next thing that you want to do? You click on the third button, three dots button here. Okay, and then you have to make sure that the tracking is on. That's what you want to do. All right. Okay, I'll repeat it again. So you click on the three dots over there, and then you go to the track change tracking, and then you make sure the tracking is on. Okay, because you want to make sure that what you what the changes that been done can be viewed. Okay, right. Is it too loud right now because my kids are playing at the background? I can. Is it coming
Oh,
into the
Dr.
presentation?
Ju. They are not disturbing.
All right, then that's okay. All right. Okay. Okay, so once you have that, actually now I already asked Nizamuddin, my colleague, to answer this template. Okay, let me just go through to the part of what he did. So you can see now, this is has. I hope you can see that. Uh, Now you can see that this is what his answer. Okay, this is his answer. Okay, he answered that on Wednesday on 9:11 a.m. So you can check that, you can track the students or the collaborator has done that, has done the has put the answer over here. Okay, so this is the first thing that you want to look at. Okay, you can look at when they start answering the assignment. All right, and then what you can do next is that I think Dr. Nizam also with me right now. uh, okay, is it possible if you put the next answer?
Okay, Jules.
Okay, yeah.
Uh, you want me to write something here?
Yes, maybe you can write the answer right now. I want to show the audience that in a real life this can be done. You can also, if you do it in real life, in real situation. So you can see right now, I think it started to show that if 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 you done this in a real setting, then it's become synchronous, right? If you ask the student to answer this assignment beforehand, let's say you give a deadline, so it will become asynchronous, right? So they answer it first and then you check it later. That's what I said just now. You can check when Nizam is putting the answer. Now you can see that right here. This is what he just add, right? So just now you can see there, it's over there. What I want to explain to you guys right here is that we want to do a continuous learning. What I meant by that is that if Nizam is answering something that Nizam is putting something that is wrong, what you can do is that you can put a comment. Okay, so you highlight the part that you want to comment. Let's say this is the part, and then you go to comment, and then you can put the comment that you want to put. Okay, let's say, okay, good, okay, good job, but can you, okay, good job, maybe you put a smiley or something like that. Okay, good job, to encourage them. Okay, but can you elaborate? Okay, something like that. Can you elaborate also on something like that. Okay, okay, something like that. Okay, done. So you can see that when I'm marking this assignment, I can still teaching my student. Okay, I can share what he did was wrong, or something that, and Nizam can also reply that back to me. Okay, so this could be the first version. I would say maybe when the assignment was done, you give them a feedback, and then they answer that feedback. Okay, they improve the assignment based on this feedbacks, right?
Dr. Jill,
Yeah.
Dr. Jill.
Yes.
So the comments you typed just now can be seen only by Dr. Nizam or any other collaborators for on the document.
Yes. Okay. So you can see Dr. Niza already putting the reply over there. Yes. The comments can be seen by all the collaborators. Okay. So because this is a shared document, so all of us are working together. So the idea is everyone can see the comments, and they can yeah, they can improve based on that. Okay, or they can change, modify according to the comment. Okay, then I can also reply it back and so on. Okay, so you can see that the a learning can be continuous with this feature. All right, because sometimes this is also from my experience what I did before. I think when I was when earlier part of my being a lecturer, when I mark an assignment, sometimes I put a lot of annotation, but I never, it's hard for me to get it. Not I never, but it's hard for me to give them back what I have rectify, or what I have comment. So I think the learning process is not done there. So they did something wrong. You did put some annotation on the paper, but they never get it back, right? So the teaching, I mean the learning is not continuing over there. I'm not worried. It's not about marks what I'm trying to put over here, but I'm trying to put that learning as something that is continuing. All right. So the next thing that I can do is, this is the next answer that Nizam, Mr. Nizam has already put. Okay, let me continue. Okay, so the next thing that you want to do is annotation. Sometimes we like to annotate in our notes, right? We want to explain. Sometimes that with text, it's hard for us to give a comment, or to explain what is wrong or what is not. Okay, so what you can do next is that you can click on the here next to the document. There is a like a pen uh, icon. You can click there and make sure the smart annotation is on. All right, here I click it on. Okay, to the right. Okay, so with the Apple Pencil, this can be done with Apple Pencil. So you tap on on somewhere on your text, so something like this will appear. All right, so you have two option, which is smart annotation and drawing. I'll come back to drawing after this, but now what we can do with smart annotation, you can put any annotation on top of an image, or a text, or anything, anything in the page, in the pages. All right, so with smart annotation, so that's what I can do, right? So I can, let's say there's a missing of verbs, or whatever, like missing r, or right here appearance, and you can, okay, you can highlight, you can underlines and so on. Okay, so with smart annotation, that's what you can do. Okay, you can put these annotations that you, let's say this I did before, so you can see that this is wrong spelling. Okay, so you can highlight that. Okay, and then here it's basically like using your pen, your pen on a piece of paper, but with Apple Pencil and Pages, everything is done in electronic way, so you can be safe, it can be shared, like what okay. So that's how you use smart annotation. That's how you can annotate your uh, your documents. All right. So again, if you're done, you click on done. So when you click done, Mr. Nizam can already see what I have been put on my on on the pages. So immediately my collaborators or my student can see these changes. All right. So the next thing is here. Okay, let's say again the same example of annotation. This is wrong, so I can say this is actually wrong order. Okay, and then I put the comment on the side here. Okay, I told Nizam that, okay, why hydrogen? I want him to explain why this metal has been compared to hydrogen. So okay, but he didn't answer that, I think, over there. So you can see that okay, this continuous learning has been is been done right now. All right. So next thing so I want to share is this. Okay, I hope you can see it right now. All right. So now it's drawing. All right. So this is the drawing that I want to share. Other features. If you again click anywhere on the page, you can see there's the second one is the first one is smart annotation. Just now I showed to you, and the second one is drawing. Okay. The difference between smart annotation and drawing is that for drawing you have to it's like when you draw something you need a space. Okay. So you can't do drawing on top of the image, another image. Okay, so it has to have its own space. Okay, in order for you to start drawing. Okay, so in this drawing, I asked my student to to draw how the blast furnace is working. Okay, so Nizam already put that over there, but say Nizam is working with other. Okay, so Nizam already putting another information over there. So he's missing that the hot air inside. So you can see that now it's happening in real situation. All right. So actually he's missing the chemical reaction, what is happening inside here, because this is important because the air will combine with the carbon, and then the carbon dioxide will also combine the hematite in order for you to get the pure iron Fe. So that is important over there. All right. So you can see that this is for drawing. So you can put images. You can also use that to better explain a concept. All right. All right. Okay. You are seeing what I'm seeing right now because yeah, Dr. Nizam has just finished putting down the drawing. Okay, and he also changed the color of the image. So maybe I can show that very quick. Okay, so let's say the color is wrong. See, let's say the color here is different. Let's say, I don't know, it's not yellow, but a different color. So what I can do is that you can click here, lasso. This is important. Let's say Dr. Nizam is working this document with his friend, and his friend want to change the document also. So with the drawing also, they can change the document. So let's say this is the color that I want to change. So I click on that, and then I change the color. Let's say the color is, I don't know, orange maybe. Is this orange? Yeah. Okay. So you can change the color. The drawing is not rigid. It's still editable. All right. And yeah, if it's wrong, you can always make it right. You can always put a comment also. All right. So okay, when you're done, you click done. And then the next thing that I want to show, maybe the annotation. Okay, in this image, he put the answer. Okay, he used what kind of features that was used in this example. Okay, this is drawing or smart annotation.
Smart annotation,
Let me have a drink first.
please.
Yes, it is smart annotation, right? So for smart annotation, like I said just now, you can annotate in anything that you like. Okay, let it be an image or a text or anything. If that is your intention, then you have to use smart annotation, right? Because it can be used on top of another layer. Okay, but drawing you need to have your own space like this. All right. So with this, what I can do is that, so Nizam put that in yellow color. Okay. So for me, so I click smart annotation. I change my color to red. Okay. So that means that later Nizam and his group can see that the changes that I made is actually by red pen. Okay. Because in the smart annotation, you can't see the tracking. So what I can do is that here he put that again. I use the lasso here, lasso to actually to select like the image that has been done by Nizam. So I select that image. First I change it to red color, and then I
Jeffreyza,
yes.
sorry, I miss lasso. Well, how to choose lasso?
Okay. Lasso is okay. This something that looks like the cowboy rope. I think that's what I have in my mind when I look at it. But lasso is to select something. So this is lasso next to the eraser. I think the first one is pen, and then highlighter, pencil, this eraser, and also this is lasso. Okay. So lasso is that you can select
Dotted line,
the
right?
yes. It looks like a rope with dotted. It's look like
Yeah,
yeah,
rope dotted
but
line. Yeah,
with dotted line. But I always think about it's like the cowboy rope. I don't know that the cowboy used to yeah, to catch a cow or something. So that's okay. That's how you select something and change. Okay,
I
let's
see.
say
Okay, thank
again,
you.
no problem. So you click on lasso and then you select this image, because first thing first I want to change this to red color. Okay, okay, I can change red color here. And then the second thing that he did wrong is that this is not where the gases is going out, because he's pointing to the stairs right over there. So actually the gases is going out here, this 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 big pipe over there, right? So this is where the waste gas is collected. Okay, so so this is what you can do. Okay, you change the color of the pen, and then you annotate uh, the results in order for the student to see that the changes has been done. All right. So again, you can see this is the answer that needs to give, and then at the end, I want to comment something that's maybe in a more detail. So this I can also use what do you call that, smart annotation. All right. So again, I think I already explained three features. First is the comments. Okay, you put the comments, and then secondly, you use smart annotation, and thirdly, you can use drawing. But the point right now I want to share is not the technical things, but the things that I want to share is that the continuous learning is happening when after you did these comments, you can let the student know, okay, you can check the document, I already put some comments, and then they can read on these comments and improve, or learning, okay, what they did wrong. What I did is that when after I collect all the assignments, what you can do is that you can see, okay, maybe the trend is that a lot of the groups, I mean, for the five of the groups, they all making the same mistake, or they show that the lack of understanding within the, let's say, the chemical reaction. Okay, the chemical equation is quite weak over there. So what I can do is that uh, this is the topic that I can explain further in class. Okay, so I can have the next class based on the assignment that they did. I know that, okay, most of the people, they still have some, I mean, they not really understand the concept of, let's say, yeah, the chemical reaction. So the next class I can focus on that topic, kind of make it right for them. So the continuous learning is happening there for me. Okay, so the next template that I want to share, or the things that I want to share, is about a research proposal. I think I did this a lot with my colleague, again, Dr. Nizam. We did a lot of collaboration in making a proposal, and in uh, in making this proposal. Okay, first again I invite him to collaborate with me, but again the same thing that I explained to you just now. I start with a template. I'm the one who initiate this proposal, so I start with a template. Okay, I put the right template. I think you guys know about making proposal, the things, let's say the problem statement, objective, methodology, and so on. Okay, I prepare that first and I put my parts. Okay, and then I invite Dr. Nizam to join me. All right, and then that's when we do our collaboration. All right. Okay, so this is the part that I want to show. So this is the part that Dr. Nizamuddin has put his part. Okay, so I start with the problem statement. Then Dr. Nizam add his part.
So Dr. Jeff,
Yeah.
if there may be 4, 5 collaborators, everyone writing, each collaborator maybe have their own color, or how can we um apa bezakan who write what?
Yeah, you can check on this. This is let's say I have more collaborator right here. Then I can see that okay, right now you can click here and I can see that okay, Nizamuddin Mat Yusof added this. If let's say I add Dr. Hasana to be the collaborator, then I can see that Dr. Hasana adding this. Okay, it will state the name of the collaborator on the on the on the on the left of this text. Okay.
Okay.
So that's how you track who put who, because that's why I call this proposal making productive collaboration. Because when making a proposal, it's we always have this problem that sometimes we have a different vision or different ideas. So with phases and collaboration, what I can do is that what I can achieve is that we have the same understanding, and if we have something that have to be solved, it can be done quite quickly and in real time. All right, so let's say like this, Dr. Nizam add another this, you can see that he add his part over here, the second part, and he also put down some notes, okay, for me for drawing. He said that okay, phase 1 should be like this and phase 2 should be like this. Okay, so this really helps in discussing the project. Okay, also again like this, he did another annotation, okay, that okay, this has to be specified and so on. Okay, and I
Okay.
can
Dr. Jeff, may I ask, for collaborator that doesn't have any Apple device, so maybe he only use iCloud, the layout will be the same.
The same.
okay,
It's
yes,
the same layout in web browser as we find it on our iPads. It's exactly the same.
it's really
Thank
nice.
you.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Daniel. So yeah, so you can see Dr. Nizam also already put another comments over there in your live. You can see it's fairly quick, so it can be done in this MCO time. But yeah, you can record the voice. Let's say you need to explain to your colleague that you want to record something. Hey, dude, maybe you can explain this in a bit. I don't know, right? So it can be done. Okay, it can be done. This is to, and also here I put a video. I want Dr. Nizam to look at this video because we need to develop a mechanism for the camera bracket. So I have some ideas. So I put a video. Actually, this is a video. I can play. I hope you can see it's playing, but you can't hear the sound. But I mean, in real life, definitely you can hear the sounds, but not right now. Okay. So did you see it's playing, right? Let me just pause. So as you can see, there's a lot of things that can be done in order to enhance the collaboration between the partners, okay, between your collaborators, okay. With these features that I have shared, I hope that collaborating become more productive, especially during this MCO time, and also when when your colleague is not physically available or physically available in your office or in the same building with you. Okay, so this can be done. All right, the collaboration can still be done. Okay, so what you can do is that you can go to plus here. Okay, when you click okay, maybe in pages everything is hidden. Okay, the idea is that it doesn't want to be crowded. Okay, the spirit is it doesn't want to be crowded, so everything is hide until you need it. All right, so if you click plus here, so the idea is plus to add something. So when you click plus, you can see that, okay, you have this option, photo, videos, camera, audio, and so on. So you can click on the video. All right. So when you click on the video, you can put the right video that you want. Okay, let's say this is the video. Just I'm putting this video. Okay, click the correct video and click use. So now you have the video. Okay, so you can drag the video. Where is it appropriate? Let's say right here, or maybe at the bottom. Okay, maybe right here. It's nice. Okay, so you can resize also the video, right? It doesn't have to be big. Okay.
If the teacher or lecturer does not satisfy with the video, there's something that you want to comment. How to comment on a video? Can we annotate within the video?
That's I think not possible because in video the time is moving, right? But for the annotation that you want to share, it can only done in real life. So I think what you can do, you can only annotate in general. So maybe you can say like maybe at minute at minute 1.07, check this out, something like that. Okay. So let's wrap up a bit. So some take home point is that when you want to start collaborating, you have to start with a template. You do not start with a blank page. Okay. With that, you can do some scaffolding and taxonomy. And then when doing assignment, make sure you always have the right template, like I said just now. And also bear in mind the continuous learning because we want our students to learn rather than, I mean, marks is one thing, but learning is the thing that we want them to have. And also when you do a proposal, you can have a productive collaboration with your colleague, with the features that I just said just now. Okay, the extension of the study, you can do to a lot of things. You can do a case study. This is what I also did a lot, manuscript review. When you are reviewing a manuscript or you are building a manuscript with a student or colleague, this is what you can do. All right. So I want to end my session with a story, just 5 minute story. I hope you can bear with me a bit. The story is about a strong man and his ex. Okay, so the kappa. Okay, so there is a strong man. Once upon a time, there's a strong man in this village, and he is very strong, physically strong, and he wants to get a job as a woodcutter, right? So he's going to he went to a company, and the boss gave him an axe for him to start chopping the tree, and the boss said to him that just cut the tree as much as you can in a day, all right? So the strong man is very dedicated. He wants to give the best for his boss. So what he did is that he 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 chopped the very first day. He chopped the tree 15 trees, okay, and then the second day he want to produce more than the first day, but he can only produce 13, he can only chop down 13 trees, okay, and then the next day he was really determined. He cut down his resting time, okay, he start early, but he was able to cut only 11 trees, and the number keep on decreasing day after day, okay, it become 9 and so on. So what do you think is the problem? The axe become dull and need to be sharpened, right? So I think the analogy here is that we as a lecturer, we have to sharpen our skill, right? We have to stop. We want to achieve great things, but once in a while we have to stop. We have to relearn a new skill. We have to look at what is our blind spot, what is our weakness, and we have to learn new skill, right? In order to be relevant, because our student has growing up with has learning so fast this day. So I think this is important for us. All right. With that, yeah, I think I end my sharing session. Thank you so much. All right.